And hello and good day. I'm David Boles, and this is Boles.tv, BOLES.television, coming to you live and in person weekdays, usually 9 a.m., Monday through Friday. And now I just have to do a very brief little test, because everything got updated yesterday. Testing 1, 2, 3. This is a test. Okay, I can hear myself here. Now I have to turn up the volume of the TV where my YouTube live stream is playing on my Apple television. I have to turn up the volume of the TV just to see if I could hear myself. And I can hear myself. And I'm trying to get a little closer to my microphone because I have discovered when I do my podcast episodes, culled, redacted from, borrowed from, imported into my podcast from this live stream, I get a lot of background noise and I get a lot of strange hissing, which I don't like. So I'm trying to see if I can fix that by getting a little bit closer to my microphone, which you can see popping in here now. Hello. And even when I run noise reduction on my podcast, when I'm not speaking, it's completely silent because my NVIDIA broadcast noise suppression suppresses all the external noise. It's a very loud apartment. We have the refrigerator right here. We have air conditioner back here. The big computer's right here. The laptop's right over here. The fan is over there and there. So it all makes noise that should be able to be relatively easily remedied. But so far, not so good. So I'm thinking if I'm closer to my microphone, and if I'm talking a little bit louder, then maybe, just maybe, here I'm creeping it closer, we will make the sound bubble like this, instead of, like yesterday I was kind of slouching and sitting back, like this. And this, talking on a microphone, gives you a lot of opportunity to have very loud background noise. And I'm using the Elgato mic, which is okay. I'm not complaining about it. But I do have much better microphones that I cannot seem to get to work with Windows 11. The audio in Windows 11 is messed up. Now, speaking of messing up, yesterday was a big install day. Big update for Windows 11. And then subsequently, all of my Elgato stuff needed to be updated, along with my video driver, and along with NVIDIA Broadcast, the software that makes this face look like this, and this voice sound like that. So I tested it all, restarted it all. But you don't know if it's going to work until you're actually live and in concert. And we are now live, in concert, at the Omaha Civic Auditorium, testing to see if any of this is working. And so far, so good. It looks pretty darn good. So maybe in another month or two or something, I will try to see if I can get my really good microphones working with Windows 11. And maybe we will be back to our more natural sound. Or maybe not. Who knows? So we are now simulcasting, multi-streaming, as the kids say. And I realized we can go up to 8 streams, and we were using 7. We're looking into getting on Daily Motion. I don't know what the requirements are. So until we hear back from Daily Motion, I thought, well, where is the 8th place we could go that would be interesting? A couple places in Russia, outside of the United States, but they will not, for some reason, allow me to set up a stream to go there. So I thought, well, what if I go to one of our multiple Twitter channels and see if I can add one of those. And I asked in support chat, is that possible? And they said, well, I think it should work. So this is our first debut day of, that's me making the double sound, not my microphone, to see if we can broadcast live. So this is my main Boles.eth account. And as you can see, we are streaming live with 0 viewers. Thank you so much. Isn't that wonderful? So that's amazing to me that you can actually stream live on Twitter, but people can't really chat with you. They have to go to our Discord server. And then I also set it up to stream to our Boles blogs Twitter page, because we have an extra thing. And we have one viewer. Hey! Boles blogs. So now you have a choice. You can watch us on the Boles blogs live stream. You can watch us on the regular old David Boles live stream. It's all in the choice. Oh, and by the way, if you want to know where we're doing all of this, we now have a dedicated website for where all the fun is happening. So if you ever get confused, what's going on, where can I find this, what are the links to the chat, what are the links to the multi-stream, it's all here now on our live website, boles.tv. And it is now secure with HTTPS. So when you go there, it's not a forward anymore. Boles TV used to forward to our Twitch channel, and now there's none of that. Now it's just its own thing, its own private, public webpage. These are some of our topics we use, Jen Marie, me, and here are all the links to where we're streaming. Only one Twitter stream, because why overdo it and be tacky and tasteless? Oh, there I am. There we are live on Twitch. And if I go like this, hey, now we're live on YouTube. Tacky and tasteless. Oh, there I am. There we are live. Pretty amazing stuff, this technology. And if I go like this, hey, now we're live on YouTube. Tacky and tasteless. Oh, there I am. There we are live. Pretty amazing stuff. What else is going on? Well, today is the first day of fall.
Oh, there I am. There we are live.
Yesterday was the last day of summer.
Well, today is the...
And it's been weird. The weather this morning is stormy and rainy on the East Coast. But still sort of hot.
Weird. The weather,
but winter is coming, and I'm looking forward to it. Because in the summer it gets very hot here. You have to leave the air conditioner on all the time. Because in the winter it's very hot here. It's very hot here all the time. And I don't have to use the heat.
Very hot here.
Everyone else around us uses their heat because they're very cold. We are from the Midwest. We're never cold.
Everyone else around.
So we get all the heat from all the apartments around us because they have it turned on high. And it's going to be a very expensive winter. Prices are going up. Energy costs are going up. The Fed is raising their interest rate. Prices are going up. It's going to be a cold winter in more than one way. Unfortunately, we want it to be a wonderful winter with lots of gifts playing in the snow. Unfortunately, we want it to be a wonderful winter. So yesterday I had to go to the dentist.
Unfortunately, we want it to be a wonderful winter.
I don't like going to doctors. It's difficult when you're on medication because they make you go in and see them.
I don't like.
Although some are doing more telemedicine now, which I appreciate. But it's hard to do telemedicine when they have to get a tooth cleaning, which I appreciate. And so we found a very nice dental office. As I discussed previously here, our previous dentist no longer takes our insurance, which I call quiet quitting. I'll take your insurance, but not your insurance, which I call quiet quitting. I guess dentists don't take the Hippocratic Oath. First, do no harm. Your insurance, which I call quiet quitting. I guess dentists. So I realized that we really hadn't been to the dentist. I hadn't been to the dentist since 2017. Now that's pretty terrible. But you know, hadn't been to the dentist. 2 years, 2.5 years because of COVID. Now that's I don't really care. And before that, I don't go because there are several reasons why I don't like to go to the dentist. I don't really care. First of all, dentists, doctors, in my opinion, they love to see you and find things wrong with you. Okay, now that sounds reasonable. However, and find things wrong with you. Okay, now I believe in preventive dentistry and preventive medicine.
I believe in.
There are times when it seems like they just want you to keep coming back. They do one little thing now and one little thing next, and to keep you coming back so they can charge you for an office visit.
They do one little thing now and one little thing next,
And then when you don't go often, when you finally do go and they find something wrong with you, then you have to go, 10 times.
And then when you don't go often, when you finally do go and they find something wrong with you, then you have to go, 10 times.
So that's sort of why I don't like to go. And it looks like I'm hearing myself talking to myself.
So that's sort of why I don't like to go.
And it looks like I'm hearing myself. Still getting a browser thing. This is very weird. What's going on? Where's the sound coming from? I'll have to listen.
Still getting a browser thing. This is very weird. What's going on?
Talking over
Where's the sound coming from?
Where did I put that?
Still getting.
Oh, it must be here.
This is very weird. What's going on?
Okay, we'll go here.
Where's the sound coming from?
No, that didn't get right. Put that. Oh, now it's going to be fun. What have I done?
We'll go here.
No, that didn't get right. What have I done to my song?
Oh, now it's going to be fun.
What if you're playing somewhere in some sort of alternate universe? What if you're playing somewhere in some sort of alternate universe? Playing somewhere in some. There we go. We are playing on Boles.tv. So I have to refresh the page. Now that's over. As far as I can tell. Yeah. So now that that's fixed, when you go to the doctor, they want to find something wrong with you so they can keep seeing you. What good is you to them? What good are you to them if you go there, they say, well, you're a healthy person. Come back when you're not feeling good. Now, the dentists say, every 6 months you have to come and see us, no matter what, because we have to clean your teeth. Your insurance pays for it. All that, right? Really? We're from the Midwest. The Midwest people don't go to the dentist. They don't go to the doctor. Generally speaking, they don't go. And here on the East Coast, everybody goes to the doctor. They love going to the doctor. It's a big adventure. We're not really of that mind very much. Because once you go, then they make follow-up appointments and they lovingly harass you on when you're going to come in, and you say, I'll call you. And they say, no, don't call us. Let's make the appointment right now. Because they know you're never going to see them again for 5 years. But there are really 2 or 3 reasons, 4 or 5 reasons why I really don't like to go to the dentist. One of them is I have this bridge in my mouth, my front tooth, that's been there for over 40 years. It's a Maryland bridge, as they call it. It was installed, the first one in the state of Nebraska, by the head of the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, the School of Dentistry. So it was sort of an experiment, proof of concept, and it so far has worked really well. And the reason I'm told they don't do Maryland bridges anymore is because it ruins 2 surrounding teeth. Excuse me. And they don't stay very long. They tend to snap off. Now it's implants all the way. That insurance appears to pay for, usually, up to a certain point. Well, I'm very careful with this bridge because I don't want any trouble. And in my long experience of 40 years of having this bridge in my mouth, there are 2 kinds of dentists. One who will look at the bridge, just look at it and say it has to go. Ugliest thing I've ever seen. Will do it better. Because they want the money and they want to cover it. And I remember I went to a dentist right on Washington Square Park in New York City. I don't know if it's an NYU dentist, but it was an NYU building. And you sat in the dental chair and you were overlooking Washington Square Park. Absolutely beautiful, unbelievable. And I remember going in there, and this dentist had like 1 chair, a huge waiting room with no chairs, 5 people on staff kind of wandering around. And his main receptionist had exactly 1 tooth in her mouth. It was very bright and polished, but it was 1 tooth. And I thought to myself, Why would you have someone like that be the face of your practice and not help her fill out the rest of her smile? That was a weird thing. Then I went in there to get my x-rays, and the woman who does the x-rays is very rough. And I guess I bit her because she was jamming this thing on my upper palate. And she looked at me and she said, "You just bit me." I said, "I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to bite you, but when you jam that into my upper palate, I guess the natural reaction is to clamp down." And I guess she'd said she'd never been bitten before in her history as a dental tech. And so the dentist came in, took one look at my mouth. This was 20 years ago. And said, "Oh, that bridge has to go. It's awful. Terrible." I said, "Oh, gee. Oh, yeah, there's decay in it, and the two surrounding teeth are rotting, and it's got to come out." At that time, it was very rough and sort of fresh out of graduate school. So I was like, "Oh, gosh, okay, I got to figure this out." So I went to the dentist was done with me. Then I went to the dental hygienist who cleaned my teeth and did a check. And as I was checking out, the dentist came out and said, "Okay, we've got to make another appointment to get those teeth out, then that bridge, fix it." And the dental hygienist was standing around with nothing to do, and she was an older woman and kind of looked at me, and I looked at her, and then the dentist left, and she mouthed to me, "It's fine." And I must have looked at her, and she, kind of pointed to, where my bridge was, and she said, "It's fine." So I said, "Oh, okay." And then the woman with the one tooth was saying, "When do you want to make your appointment to come in and take out your bridge and put in a new whatever?" I don't think they were implants at that time. And I said, "Well, let me check my calendar and I'll get back to you." And I turned around and, ran away with my life. Very grateful to that woman who told me it's okay, because I believed the guy because he was so adamant about it. And so ever since, when I go to the dentist, I have discovered there are dentists who will look at the bridge and say it's fine, which happened yesterday, which was very impressive. Or they say, "Oh, there's probably some kind of decay between the bridge and the tooth, and we have to take it out. We can't guarantee it, but it's suspicious on the x-ray." So I've learned to be very cautious when it comes to that. And I know that if the bridge comes out, then it's over. And then you got to pony up the big bucks for the implant. And it's not going to be just one implant. It's going to probably be, 3? Because it's 3 teeth involved in this bridge. And the other reason I really don't like to go to the dentist is not only that they always find something wrong, but when it comes time to do a root canal or even a crown, refilling a filling, they shoot you up with lidocaine or carbocaine or whatever, numbing agent. And I have, over the years, discovered that I have some kind of superpower, that's what I call it, some kind of DNA thing that metabolizes that kind of numbing agent, I would say almost immediately. So normally people go into the dentist, they get shot up, numbed, and for the rest of the day they can't talk. I go in, get shot up, it wears off within 10 minutes. And these dentists, for some reason, do not believe me. So I have learned to try to prepare them for this event, because what they do usually is they shoot you up and they leave for 20 minutes and then they come back, start working on you, and it's already unnumb. So now I said, look, it usually numbs quickly. Shoot me up, wait a minute or two, and then before you begin drilling, just to be safe, Shoot me up again. Hi, Jana Maria's here. Oh, hi, baby. Must be frustrating when they don't believe you. Yeah, they don't believe me. It's a very weird thing. And now our Restream bot is promoting our sweet Jana Marie. Love that. So I tell them, so before you start drilling, shoot me up again. And there are some dentists who will not do it. So you're numb. And there are other dentists, very luckily, so when you find one who will just do it, they believe you. Okay, I'll shoot you up again. And our last dentist, who was Russian, very good, an artist who no longer takes our insurance, I'll help your tooth, but I won't help your tooth. He would shoot me up, and I never had 1 ounce of pain with him. But there was one time where I asked to be shot up. The dentist shot me up. She was doing a root canal, and she was kind of talking to someone else. It was taking a very long time. And as she was digging into the bottom of my tooth, getting out the root, the signal is raise your left hand if you're having pain, because you can't really talk because your mouth is full of stuff. So I kept raising my left hand, and she said, "What is it you want?" I said, "I can feel that." And you know what she said? She said, "It's impossible." I said, "I can feel you digging out the root of my tooth. I can feel it. Can you shoot me up again?" And she stopped, and she didn't believe me because she was really pulling out the pulp or whatever it is, and the roots of the tooth. And she did. She shot me up again, but she wasn't happy about it. And so that is the fear that I always have, is that I'm going to go in to a dentist. They're going to give me a hard time about my bridge. And if I have to have some work done, they're not going to allow it to be painless. So that's why you have 5-year span between going to the dentist or not. It's not a lot of fun. So I'm hoping when I go back next week to get the couple of minor cavities I have that are starting. She wants to take care of them. There's an old filling that has a shadow, so they're going to take that out, put this in, and meow. But I don't mind redoing the fillings. I'm excited about that because we have the old mercury fillings because we're old. And now the composite fillings, which I know a lot of dentists don't like because they're not as strong, but boy, they look better in your mouth. Especially if you have a lot of fillings and you laugh or smile, everyone sees your fillings. But now laugh or smile with composites and it looks like your teeth are fine. I'll take that vanity. So it was also very interesting talking to the dentist yesterday and the hygienist about what was going on with COVID and what the future of dentistry has in stock for them. And we're going to discuss that in just a moment. But first, we're taking a blood pressure break, returning in a second. And hey, we are back from break here on Boles TV, BOLES, not television. Oh no! Listening to myself in the living room. Oh boy. Hang on. This is what this screen is for. I'll leave the mic on for fun. I have to go turn that down. Oh gosh. Well, that's okay. It's been a wild day so far. But I can say that listening to that in the living room, it doesn't sound as hissy as it did yesterday. And maybe that's because I'm closer to the mic. No. Maybe it's because I'm closer to the mic or it's not as noisy. Maybe it's because NVIDIA Broadcast got updated, but it sounds much better. And part of the reason it sounds so hissy lately is because, as I've discussed before, we don't have any live music or any recorded music on this stream anymore ever, because it's just impossible. It might be safe today, but tomorrow the song gets sold somewhere, and then suddenly you get hit with a DMCA takedown notice. That's right. So, we used to have music underneath, so you're talking, you don't notice the hiss or the background noise coming all around you. So, back to the dentist. So, we had an interesting conversation with the hygienist who was cleaning and polishing my beautiful teeth yesterday. And we were talking about COVID. And I was very interested. I said, so, because she was saying, well, I'll give you a pass for not coming because of COVID. I said, well, how did it work here? Because to me, the most dangerous profession during COVID are the people in the hospital who are doing the intubation, where you have to get right in someone's face and make the tube go in, and dentists, who you have your mouth wide open, breathing on them through your nose and your mouth, and they're right here working on you. It's dangerous to me. And she said, we closed right at the start of COVID for about 2 months. And then we were open because we had so many people who had to come and see us. They were overwhelmed with problems, broken teeth, things that were missing. They begged us to open. And so we opened, and we were very careful. We all looked like spacemen. We had the full suit on. We had the visor. And the hygienist said that when she was vaxxed and boosted, she said she took all that off, threw it away. She doesn't ever want to have to wear it again. She hated it. And I didn't understand why, but she doesn't care anymore. And she's wearing her mask, and, she's all protected anyway, so I don't know what the big difference is. I guess the shield she didn't like. So I thought that was really interesting, because I thought that dentists were closed a lot longer than 2 months. But I guess, what are you going to do? I mean, I know like hospitals, you couldn't do surgery. If you had cancer, you couldn't do surgery for 6 months, something like that, because I guess they were full of COVID patients, so they couldn't do surgery. So I guess the dentistry is different, because if the dentist can see you now, the dentist will come and see you now. Okay, now we know. The other thing that was interesting is talking to the head dentist. I think he has a couple of locations and has a lot of dentists working for him. And he for some reason, he was there early. We were there early. We and that doctor were the only ones in the office, which was weird, because usually an office opens half an hour before they start seeing patients. Not this one, that day. So he's, opening things, turning on all the lights, the television, getting us ready, turning on the compressor for suction. and he's doing the X-ray, I guess, of my whole mouth. I got a phone call, and he said, just a minute. So he disappeared in another room, came back, and said, we have a garbage problem here, and they're not picking it up. They're not taking care of it, and it's, some of it's, blood, and it has to be taken care of legally. And I just said to him, it's hard being the boss. And he kind of looked at me, kind of nodded. Then he did my thing, and then we went in there. And I guess one of the assistants was late, so he had to do I don't know what the whole thing mouth is. It looks like an X-ray to me, but what do I know? And then I guess the other ones where they put that in your mouth, the bite wing X-rays, I hate them. That's where I bite people. And this one, it's not film anymore. It's digital. So you're like biting on a microchip thing that then the radiation goes through and pops it up on a computer screen. Faster, better, still uncomfortable. Again, my soft palate was jammed, and I kind of mentioned it to him, and he said, "Oh, sorry." And then he was very nice and very careful not to do it again. But I guess he doesn't do that regularly. And then he started talking to me. And he said, it's so interesting that, this digital X-ray cost him $7,000 a couple of years ago. And he said, it works great. It's fast. It's efficient. Patients love it. But he said, it's already old technology. And I said, wow, how? He said, well, there's new technologies. The way he was describing it, I didn't understand it. But somehow they just take a pen or something. They have something on the inside of your mouth that's just like on the inside of your teeth, and then the pen's on the outside of the teeth. So they just draw it like that, and it makes an individual. I didn't really understand it. But he said the new digital X-rays that they're trying to sell him, $15,000. And he said, patients want it. They hear about it. Their friends have it. They ask you, why don't you have it here? And we had never done this full thing, which I love. It's a very interesting thing. And I don't know why you have the full thing, why you have to do the bite wing, but what do I know? I'm not a dentist. And he said, how am I supposed to pay for that? And I've never met this guy before in my life, but he's telling me his whole life story. And I love it because I'm interested in this kind of technology. And he said, insurance companies pay, $5 per set of X-rays, maybe $10, depending on the insurance. And he said, where am I going to get $15,000 to pay for an updated digital X-ray system when my patients come to me and I get $5 a pop for these digital X-rays? How many patients do I have to see in order for me to even begin to make the down payment on $15,000 worth of equipment? And I thought that was a very good explanation. And he said, it's the insurance companies. They don't want to pay anything. And of course, I was reminded of my previous dentist. I'll help your tooth, but not your tooth. And then he kind of went on to say, all these insurance companies are pretty much the same. I think that's why they like to upsell you and bring you in every 6 months. And, you have a small cavity, let's replace it immediately. They find ways to keep making money off of you because that's how they are in business. And then he said that he has insurance, but that his wife needed a special kind of cream. So they went to a pharmacy, the Walmart pharmacy, right? Not a, expensive private chain, the Thompson Street chemists, nothing like that. And the pharmacist said, well, with your insurance, the price for this special cream is $1,000. And he said, how can it be $1,000? And the pharmacist said, well, let me see if I can find a coupon. You've seen the TV commercials for the coupons, right? So the pharmacist did a coupon search and said, okay, $250. And the dentist said, well, that's still too much for this cream. And the pharmacist said, well, maybe I can make a compound for you. And pharmacists do that. They can take various ingredients, mix them together, mortar and pestle, right? And make you a cream or a pill or whatever you need. And he said, okay, if I do a compound, $200. And so my dentist said, okay. And he wondered with me, how is it possible that in the span of 60 seconds, you can go from a $1,000 cream in the United States to a $250 cream to a specialized handmade compound for $200? And I said, you didn't have insurance? He said, no, we have insurance. But our insurance doesn't want to cover that particular cream at all. And then he went on, talking about COVID. He said in India, where he's from, the Pfizer vaccine costs pennies, 3 cents for a COVID vaccine from Pfizer. He said here in the USA, it's hundreds of dollars for the exact same vaccine. And he asked me, how does that make any sense? And I said, I don't know. So it's very interesting to find out what is going on. And I've done a little bit of research on implants. If you do a Google search, it'll tell you the average price of, like, say, a dental implant in your area code, zip code. Or I guess area code too. And it's very interesting. I believe our insurance pays $1,000 for an implant for one tooth, which to me sounds like a lot of money. But when you do the research in our area, which is not a super rich area and not a super poor area, it's sort of an average middle class area, the average price for an implant varies between $5,000 and $1,500, with the average being, I guess, $2,500. So with that knowledge, you think, yikes. My insurance will pay $1,000, and if I get the cheapest one in our area, I got to pay at least $500 to get that implant. And with me, if my bridge goes, that's 3 implants, $4,500, right? At the cheapest place. And we're probably not going to go to the cheapest place. It's going to be the average place. So let's say $2,000. So let's say $6,000 for 3 teeth. Insurance pays $3,000. You got to come up with $3,000 on your own for a dental implant? It's impossible. It's untenable. And I know old people on Social Security, they have a hard time with their teeth. It's not really generally covered on Medicare. So you're old and you can't chew and you have gum disease and your teeth are falling out and no one's going to help you get better because you're retired, you're not making any money, you're living paycheck to paycheck, deposit to deposit, and you can't afford to pay. So what are you going to do? Who's going to help you? And the answer is absolutely nobody. I know that Biden and the Democrats try to get dental included in the healthcare plan, and I don't think that they were very successful. Maybe a little something, but not enough. And I guess that's why a lot of old people, when they can, or when they're about to retire, they go in, they get all this dental work done because they're retiring. That's what my friend Marshall Jameson did in Lincoln, Nebraska. He moved to Lincoln from New York. He sat down with HR, a wonderful person in Lincoln, Nebraska, and said, Marshall, you're going to be retiring soon. 10 years, 15 years, because you're an old man. How are you doing on your retirement savings? And Marshall was honest and said, well, we don't really have anything. We lived in White Plains. All of our investment was in our house, which we sold for a lot of money, and we bought a cheap house in Lincoln. So we have cash. But she said, no, you need retirement. So this HR person worked with Marshall. I think they took like 80% of every paycheck he earned and put it into some kind of saving system for retirement. And then Marshall was a lifelong drinker and smoker. He smoked cigars like they were cigarettes. Deep inhale, right? But he was actually very healthy. But his teeth were problematic. So for about a year and a half, I remember I'd have meetings with him. I'd want to see him. He was going to the dentist. He was coming back from the dentist. And he was having every single tooth in his mouth pulled and then replaced with some kind of very early implant from the 1980s. Like the front you could see was white, and you looked inside, when he yawned or laughed, everything was black on the inside. So it wasn't dentures, it looked like individual implants. And he had every single tooth in his mouth replaced because I guess they had a really great dental plan. And HR, his friend, was very smart to say, Marshall, you have to get this done with the condition of your teeth before you retire, because when you retire, no one's going to pay for your teeth. You have gum disease from all your years of smoking and drinking. You've got to take care of it. And he did. And he was at the dentist and he was not at the dentist. For a year and a half, he was just getting back from the dentist in a lot of pain or getting ready to go to the dentist. But that person helped him save for his retirement, retired in Fort Myers, Florida, had a wonderful life, and had beautiful, beautiful teeth. His new smile was beautiful and incredible. So I guess it was money well spent. Insurance well paid for. Well, I guess that's my rant about insurance and dental technology. And I get a little worried about this war in Ukraine. It seems to be turning against Russia a bit. Our friend Alexander is going to funerals of his friends. He's in Ukraine. He sends us updates. I am tremendously concerned about our friend Igba. Our friend Igba has very kindly presented us with interesting art and puzzles. I think, do I have his art over here? Maybe it's about art over here. And sculptures. He created this wonderful puzzle out of an NFT of his that he gave me. This is the original NFT. Igba all the way, right? And if I show you my Twitter page, he gifted me a wonderful NFT celebrating his 1-year anniversary in the NFT market. And you can see it's my background banner here on Twitter. This thing, abstract, weird, bizarre. Love it. So my friend Igba also carved this piece of artwork for me from a piece of stone, sent it to me from Russia, and it actually arrived via Turkey, via Russian post. It was supposed to get here in 7 days. I think it took 17 days to get here. But it got here, and it's beautiful. It's a rock that's a piece of artwork. So our friend Igva is young and beautiful, and he's strong. His father, I guess, got laid off for protesting the war. He lives in Russia. He has been trying to support his family through his NFT artwork. And NFTs are, sort of tanking right now, because Ethereum is up and down. And the world is on fire. And so yesterday, Putler, which is a combination of Hitler and Putler from our friend Alexander, said that they might, go nuclear. And Putin announced that he was calling up 300,000 reserves. And I was immediately terrified for my friend Igba. And he told me maybe a week or two ago, when I asked him about this, I said, look, the war's not going well. Are you worried about being brought in to the war? And he said, no, because I guess of his status and wealth and stature. But he said if it gets bad, he's leaving. He's going to leave the country and go somewhere else. And you see on the news today, people in cars trying to leave Russia. A lot of news reports about people buying one-way tickets out of Russia. And Igba said he and his friends would gather up their things and run. They are not going to fight against Ukraine. Now, my friend Igba posts things to me on our Discord server. He posts things on Twitter constantly. He is a constant, interesting force. He posts videos, he posts his artwork, he likes, he forwards. He is into the milieu of being online, trying to provide for his family. And I have not heard from him. And he's very good about keeping me in the loop about what's going on. So I went to his Twitter page. This is his profile pic. This is some of his artwork. It's very abstract, very vibrant in color. I appreciate it very much. His last tweet was September 21st, yesterday, when Putin announced his nuclear option and the calling up of 300,000 young men. Before that, his last retweet was a week ago. Igba loves to say GM, which is good morning. And then everybody he knows and follows says good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. And yesterday, our friend Igba posted on Twitter, no GM. No good morning. And he likes everything people respond to. He forwards, he retweets, he shares. Very active. Very smart when you're trying to, sell and make a world for yourself. So we click on that tweet from yesterday, no good morning, and we see replies to that tweet, but no reply from Igba. "23 hours ago, from Tim. Are you all right, brother? From yesterday. Good morning. I'm always here. Have an inspirational day. Also from yesterday. No M without J. Something's happened. Something is going on. If he's running, I hope he's going to be okay. I've known Nigma for probably 6 months. He has never, ever, 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 ever gone this long without saying something, or being in touch. And I know when he is able, he will get in touch. He will let us know. And maybe we just need to know that if it's not a good morning, there's a reason for it. And now we're going to take a very brief blood pressure break, returning in a moment. And hey, we are back from break. I'm David Boles, and this is Boles.tv, BOLES.television, trying to get close to the mic so we don't get any background noise, so we sound as beautiful and harmonious as we always should. Oh, it's been an interesting day so far. So many things to talk about, so many things to discuss, and we've only just begun. So the other day I was reading something online, and it was an architecture group. And this young person was looking for schematics from the World Trade Center because he had some project he was working on. He wanted to architecturally understand how things worked. Now, where would you find schematics for the World Trade Center? Well, in this group, somebody knew immediately and said, here, go here, use this view, east-west towers, download the original, and you'll get the absolutely original schematic from the World Trade Center. I said to myself, how is that possible? I mean, I know you can find anything on the internet, but something that specific and that, to me, so closely held, impossible. Well, I was wrong. This is the website. 9/11 Research is the name of the website. And here's what some of these schematics look like, where anybody can go online and download these schematics. This looks like the elevator schematic. And you go over here, you click on here, and this is all the different kinds of views that is available about the World Trade Center. I had no idea. I had no idea any of this was even available online. Fire communication systems, lighting, elevator, main lobby, lobby floor plan, main lobby. And here's where it gets really interesting. Then you go over here, and the resolution you want, medium, original, high, low. Now, the architecture guy said you want the original. And the original, when you go like that, original, look, it becomes massively huge. It's a massively huge file. So someone is doing very interesting things online. And this, to me, is the real power of the internet, where you can want something, you can look for something, and actually find precisely what you're looking for. So I was all impressed with this and looking at different schematics. Let's see if we can look at the fire stuff. That sounds very interesting. The lighting and power grid, we'll go with low to see if we can, yeah, this is, okay, this is maybe a little easier to see. Well, we'll go with medium. A little easier to see online. So this is lighting power for the 78th floor. How do you find this? How do you get it online? Who owns this? Maybe it doesn't matter because there's no building anymore. Emergency lighting. 25th through 58th floors. I can imagine that this would be very helpful to firefighters, police department, in any kind of emergency, not just the emergency that the Twin Towers from our collective knowledge. Miscellaneous interior details, what does that mean? Oh, it's like construction stuff. Wow, that's interesting. You could spend hours and hours in here and just get lost. And I did yesterday. And then I thought, what is this website? 9/11 Research. So I click on the home button. And then it gets a little weird. An attempt to uncover the truth about September 11, 2001. So it's sort of a conspiracy website. Which is really fascinating because there's no conspiracy about this. This is just what it is. And I'll put the link in our Discord server so you can take a look at this yourself. But it's interesting how you have to take the interesting and the good with the incredibly unsatisfyingly bad. I mean, having all of this deep information on this website validates it. And then you want more, and you go to the homepage and you read, and it's like, oh, this is a lot of conspiracy theory. And then you do a little more digging and a little more looking, and you find this official government website. The Trade Center Investigation from NIST.gov. Photos, videos, simulations. Now this is a government site, so the conspiracy theorists don't want anything to do with it. But if you're looking for information based on research and fact and science, and yes, it's from the government, but that's okay. You can go look around here, and I will put this link also in our Discord server and our live links. Part of our show. So this is the full breakdown of what happened on that day. Very interesting stuff. The investigation, study, frequently asked questions, investigations, news archive, publications, recommendations. Very interesting stuff. You'll get lost in this too. So we've had a heavy day so far. Now we're going to lighten up just a little bit and do a little bit of celebration. Hey, look at this. Is it possible? Yes, it is. Taco Bell. Yeah, that Taco Bell. 7,000 worldwide stores, almost 8,000. Taco Bell is debuting meatless carne asada to select locations as part of its much-anticipated partnership with Beyond Meat. Beyond Meat is very good. I like them a lot. However, for me, taste-wise, the Impossible Burger is the best. Now, a friend of mine was reading this about this fake vegan carne asada because a lot of vegans were very excited about it. And one friend said, well, you know, it's pretty obvious that these vegans just want to eat meat. Why are they spending all this time on finding a meat replacement? Why don't they just eat the meat? Well, that shows that you don't really understand what's going on with veganism. And also, this fake plant meat doesn't really taste or even have the texture of the real thing. It's just a replacement. And some people say, why would a vegan want to replace the taste of meat? You're supposed to be repulsed by it. Well, that's true, but it doesn't really taste like meat. It's just something that is familiar in a familiar form that suggests how it could and should be eaten. Select Taco Bell locations in Ohio will soon feature Beyond Meat carne asada on its menus starting October 13th. The partnership officially began in early 2021, but took longer than expected to perfect the recipe. The announcement comes amid Beyond Meat's COO's arrest and suspension for alleged assault. Oh, it only gets better from there. So this is just really very interesting. Developed in collaboration with Beyond Meat, the carne asada will debut in select locations in Dayton, Ohio for a limited time. The faux meat will be available as part of a quesadilla. But customers can also opt to substitute it for any protein, which is great, for the same cost, according to Taco Bell. And the reason I really support this is because Taco Bell is big. They are vegetarian, vegan friendly. They have 8,000 stores, and they are of the mainstream. They are not of the middle class, really, but they are of the mainstream. So getting them on board helps promote this sort of better, healthy, legal, vegan eating. And then I reminded myself of this. Qdoba is big. We have one in our mall. They have been at the forefront of vegan Mexican food eating for a long, long time. And they don't get enough press, and they don't get the same kind of attention that Taco Bell gets. And I think that's sort of wrong. The vegan options at Qdoba are plentiful, as they are the majority of fast casual restaurants, where Chipotle has sofritas and Moe's. I don't even know who Moe is. Moe's offers their own tofu. Qdoba is home to, there you go, Impossible Foods. That's my favorite. With ground Impossible meat, almost any order at Qdoba becomes, well, possible. If you haven't given Qdoba a try lately, we strongly recommend giving the vegan options a go at Qdoba. And Panda Express, if you think of Chinese food, now has the orange-flavored Beyond Meat chicken available at every Panda Express in the world, as I understand it. It was in a limited test, but now it's available all day, every day. You can get vegan, orange-flavored chicken at Panda Express. Get the noodles and get the fried rice. So here are the vegan options at Qdoba. Breakfast. The potato breakfast burrito. No egg, no cheese, no queso. Add salsa and guacamole. The potato breakfast bowl. Order no egg, no cheese, no queso. Add salsa, including guacamole. Orange juice. Signature eats. The Impossible Fajita Burrito Bowl. Yes. The Impossible Taco Salad. I will take it. The Fajita Vegan Bowl. And there's what it looks like. It looks fantastic. I wish Qdoba was closer to us. We do have a Taco Bell, sort of nearby. You can pick your own entree, make a bowl, make a burrito, make a salad, make nachos. And all you have to do is tell them, for a protein, use Impossible meat, or use vegetables instead if you don't want that taste. If you want some rice, cilantro, seasoned brown rice, both vegan, beans, pinto and black, half and half, that's how you do it. At Chipotle, which bean do you want? I want both, half and half. And they'll do it. Maybe not happily, but they'll do it. Your sides and sauces, vegan, roasted tomato, pico de gallo, chili corn salsa, salsa verde, fiery habanero, citrus lime vinaigrette. And you want to top it off, vegan, pickled onion, pickled jalapeno, guacamole, grilled fajita peppers, shredded lettuce, cilantro, tortilla chips. You want to add on a side? Hey, guacamole and chips. Salsa and chips. And if you're a kid and you want to go vegan, get the kid nachos. No queso. Add the Impossible veggie, whatever you want for a protein. The kid taco meal is one taco. Crispy or soft corn taco. And add Impossible. And then this goes, I'll put this link in our live chat. All the questions. Fabulous, wonderful stuff. How are you going to beat that? You can't beat it because it's a lot of fun. And now we're taking our very next blood pressure break, returning to talk about Ethereum and what is going on with crypto. Back in a moment. And we're back. I'm David Boles. This is Boles.tv. BOLES, not television. And it's an interesting day today because there are so many things to talk about, and then I get all wrapped up in my teeth and my missing friends, and it all begins to go off the rails, which is good because that's what we do here. We follow our bliss, as they say. So we're going to talk about Ethereum and what's going on in the world. The world of Ethereum. It's been a rough ride. It's been a good ride. And it's not over yet. And it's all part of it. It's not really a big deal, but people panic because they don't know any better. But here is my Twitter feed. My username is David Boles, but I go by Boles.eth, as we've discussed in the past. And our friend Igba has not responded to our inquiry about where he is and how he's doing, which to me is a bad thing. Excuse me, because he's usually very responsive and always on top of everything. So something is going on, and we're going to follow it, and we're going to track it, and we're going to figure out what's going on. So Ethereum has now made its split from old Ethereum with high gas fees to cheap Ethereum, Ethereum 2 with low gas fees. Ethereum 3, 4, 5 months ago was $3,000 for one Ethereum, one ETH. Then for a while it was about $1,500, half price. Then for a long time it was about $1,300. Now it's $1,277. Which looks good and green over time, right? But this is the time span of a few hours of one day. Let's go back in time, 5 days. Oh, you see what's going on. A big smasharoonie. 1 month, oh, very red. Down 21% in a month. 6 months, oh. Year to date, not good. 1 year, up and down. I don't know what SY means, not sure. Oh, 5 year? 5 year, sorry. I'm old, I can't see. It looks like an S to me. Taking an eye exam on your live stream. Axo. Wow, last November. $4,500. Whew, for one ETH. I got into it January, February. About 3,000. Now here's the, as they say in the biz, the hard news about Ethereum. The Securities and Exchange Commission claims all of Ethereum falls under U.S. jurisdiction. Now, that's a heart attack if you own Ethereum or any Bitcoin or any crypto coin. Litecoin, Dogecoin, any coin. Because the whole idea of crypto is that it is unregulated, not controlled by a government. It is on the blockchain. There is no central authority figure. Ethereum is out there open in the wild to be used and distributed and purchased and bought as necessary. Which some people say, that's where criminals, that's how criminals exchange fees for goods and goods for fees. They pay each other in crypto, untraceable, can't be brought to justice, there's no taxation. And these big governments are very upset about it, and they want their cut. In the United States, you have to report your crypto earnings and losses if you make exchanges, and you've reported on your tax form, like it or not. And people don't like it. Well, this, from a couple of days ago, is very disturbing. In a civil complaint against a crypto influencer, the SEC suggested that it believes the U.S. government has jurisdiction over all Ethereum transactions. Full stop, heart attack. How is it possible? Who are these people? It doesn't make any sense. When the SEC filed a federal lawsuit on Monday against crypto influencer Ian Balina for his failure to register a cryptocurrency as a security before launching a 2018 initial coin offering, ICO, everything at first appeared to be run-of-the-mill. The SEC has for years filed civil lawsuits against individuals and organizations for rolling out unregistered ICOs. However, in a bold and potentially unprecedented move buried in the lawsuit's 69th paragraph, the SEC now claims it has the right to sue Balina, not only because his case concerns transactions made in the United States, but also because, essentially, the entire Ethereum network falls under the U.S. government's purview. Now, that is fascinating and a very strange argument. In its complaint, the regulator noted that the ETH sent to Balina was validated by a network of nodes on the Ethereum blockchain, which are clustered more densely in the United States than in any other country. The SEC then concludes, as a result, those transactions took place in these United States. Terrifying stuff if you hold Ethereum. The SEC appears to be suggesting that because more of Ethereum's validating nodes currently operate in the United States than in any other country, all Ethereum transactions globally should be considered of American origin. Currently, 45% of all Ethereum nodes operate from the United States, according to Etherscan. The greatest second density of nodes is in Germany, with only 19% by comparison. Now what are you going to do, crypto folk? Well, they're freaking out. This is the cryptocurrency group on Reddit discussing the SEC going after Ethereum. So what do these experts, consequential, inconsequential, interesting people, nutty people, who knows? This is what Reddit's saying about it. So many people have no clue about POS. Got a lot of stuff to say about POS. How could they possibly control it, Ethereum? The way banks and credit card companies work now indicates that if they were doing something, they would have done it long ago. Another person says, use a different company. Use Binance. They're not in the United States. Use them for your crypto exchange. Don't use something based in the United States. Let them take Ethereum as a warning to all other cryptocurrencies to not go down the same path. Yes, Ethereum is now a security. Time to move on. Another person says, oh, it's 100% to security by definition at the time of the initial coin release. Another says, sure, buy Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a digital property. Cryptos, all the other coins, are securities. It's just a matter of time. Eventually, they will come after you and or call the founder or foundation of that specific crypto to shut it down or go to jail. You can't call the founder or the foundation of Bitcoin. Very interesting argument that Bitcoin is more scrambled, fuzzy, untraceable than some of these other coins like Ethereum. And so it cannot be controlled. It cannot be moved. And a lot of these banking apps like Cash App and I think Venmo and a couple of others, you can buy and sell Bitcoin. But that's it. They don't support other coins. So the big businesses do, like Coinbase, Binance, they support 100 coins. But the regulated, I'll say, banking industry apps only support, right now at least, Bitcoin. Probably for this very reason. Because it's not a security. There's no one to go after when it comes to Bitcoin. Over the past few years, I've been seeing more and more of this crud throughout the USA, civil forfeiture, and how that works, for example. The great USA is just a company. And a company's job is to suck in as much money as legally possible. And since the USA also makes the law, so this is a Wild West kind of place where people go to have chats about what's going to happen with Ethereum. And I tell you right now, you want to buy an NFT like on OpenSea or Known Origin or Foundation app, you're probably going to be using Ethereum. Some are going to Polygon, but that's harder to use, not really supported very well by many wallets when you want to display and share your NFTs. This is becoming a very interesting sticky wicket, as the kids love to say. So if you're interested in Ethereum, be careful, be watchful. The price is going up and then goes down. It'll be very interesting to see what happens. The majority of staked coins are held on exchanges that are within the US. And once Ethereum became POS, it took control of the network from the miners and gave it to the largest stakers. This is Ethereum 2. That means the SEC and other regulators really only have to go after 3 or 4 large exchanges to push through regulation that will affect the whole network. These exchanges will either have to comply or give up staking Ethereum. When it was still POW, that was not possible because of the distribution of miners. People who make the coins, not underage people. It would have been much harder to put pressure on all the miners at once. And even if all the miners in the U.S. complied, there would still be more miners outside the U.S. who would not comply. And then what are they going to do? Very interesting change in authority for Ethereum, from Ethereum 1 to Ethereum 2, because now with Ethereum 2, it's cheaper, but less decentralized. Now you can go after 3 or 4 entities to bend them to the will of the SEC. Woo! That's going to be tough. We live in interesting times, as they say. And now, my friend, it's that time of day where we get to unwind and get all tensionied. Because it's time once again for Not Bobby Fischer Chess with your friend and mine, Ringo Starr. And we're still using our Chessable 1001 Deadly Checkmates. The chapter we are on is chapter 13, a checkmate involving discovered or double check. So it cannot be one, it cannot be both, but it can be one or the other, as they say. And this one is a 3-move thing. And I can't show it to you yet because when I click on this, my timer starts. Yesterday, I practiced offline and I did really well. And then I get here with you and everything goes down the tubes, as they say in France. White to play. Object of my desire is this king. Beware of the queen. Here is my queen. Here is my other knight. So it's going to be these two putting the pressure. Oh boy, now where do we go? Oh my. Now I'm starting to feel a little nervous. Oh boy. So I have to move the knight to discover this check on the queen. But the question is, I always move my knight in the wrong direction. I would like to move my knight here, which also puts the king in check. But then it would be taken by this pawn. So I don't think that's the move. I can't move my knight here because it would be taken by this pawn. I don't mind losing a knight, but usually they don't like me to do that. So, wow, I don't have a lot of moves to move. Oh, I'm running out of time. Oh gosh, I'll just move here because I can't think. Oh. Not bad. Not bad. Okay, now I see what I have to do. Okay, so the reason they're not taking is because the king had to move. Woo-hoo. So the king was in check, the king moved. So now I think my queen needs to move here and put the king in check again. And the king can't take because the knight protects her. I believe that is going to be the right move. Just checking as my timer squirrels away on me. I'll try it. Hello. Okay, now. Now we have to go for the kill, as they say. And immediately my thought is here, which puts the king in check. Okay? The king cannot go here because of the queen. The king cannot go there because of the queen. The king cannot go there because of the queen. So that would be a checkmate. I do believe. Yes. And nothing can take the knight. It is the right move. And I've won the game. Oh my goodness, 100%. Very rare I get 100% online. Offline, I do get 100%. Not often. Now, you almost want to quit while you're ahead, but that's not what we do here. We're glutton for our own punishment. Here's the chess.com puzzle of the day. The clue is cutting in line. Now, that's very important because these titles are hints to solving the puzzle. Cutting in line. I'm not sure what it means, but I believe I'm playing black. Black to play. Okay, so I'm black. This is untimed, so I can try to figure out this in the most sophisticated possible way, which usually means I'm still wrong. So the object of my desire is the white king. Here I am with my black queen. Ooh. And I have bishop here. And I have a rook here. These puzzles love for you to give up your queen early, and it might just happen. But cutting in line. As the week goes on, the puzzles on chess.com get harder. So I'm not confident that I'm going to be able to solve this right away. But I have to try to figure it out. So what are my options? They like it when the queen's in trouble. And I'm black. I don't have any knights. And my queen, I have to move my queen, because otherwise she'll be taken. If I go here, that doesn't look very good. Because then, take. I have nothing. Oh, this is not looking good for me. Now, if I were just playing myself, I would move the queen here, protected by the pawn, and do a queen exchange. I wouldn't mind it. And I don't have a lot of. I have to move my queen because, see, I could also do this. Take. But then I would lose my queen. So I have to move my queen somewhere. I believe. Not here. Not there. Doesn't do anything. Here doesn't do anything. I'm going to make this move. No. Try again. I will try. Now, if I get 3 wrong, then I go for a hint. Queen takes. Then queen takes. Not great. Although, this is an open rank. Cutting in line. Okay, so a line to me makes something long like this. So if I go here, threatening 2 pieces. No, then just take my queen. I have to move the queen. No, I have to move her somewhere. Like to here? No. Try again. Okay, one more time. Here. No. Okay. Hint. Ah. Ah, I see. Okay, this is what I'm not getting. It is cutting in line. There's the line. He'll be here, right? I'm worried about losing my queen with this, but it can't happen because if this rook moves, then the king is put in check. Very interesting. Okay, I got it now. Okay, so this queen protects that rook. This knight now protects that rook. I can't take that knight because then the pawn will take me. So, very interesting. It's an interesting puzzle. And that's a cute move to take the bishop, but then the knight will just take. Oh, this is not good. This is not as fun as it was. This is not as fun as the chessable. Could be interesting. Moving this rook here. Putting pressure here. Maybe. Or here with the bishop, then goes here, and then the queen moves over. Maybe. I don't think that's good either. I'm going to try the rook move. Nope. Okay, I'm going to try the bishop move. Nope. Oh boy. Hint. Oh, I have to make one more before I get a hint. So if I go here, queen takes. And I go here, it would be a checkmate. I kind of like that. No. It's a queen move. I did figure it out, though. Okay. What I was going to do would have worked, but this gets us there one move early. So now, this rook takes. It's mate because the king can't move, and the queen is stuck here and cannot help. If my queen had taken this way, the queen would have then slaughtered me. But by going this way, and the king can't move out of check, I forced the rook to take. Okay, now we win. Oh, that was painful. But that's part of life. Pain, joy, wondering, searching for friends who are missing, getting your teeth worked on. It's all part of it. I thank you for being here. We've had a wonderful time together. Learned a lot of things. If you have any questions or concerns, you can email me, david@boles.tv. On Twitter, I'm @DavidBoles. Super follows to follow. On Facebook, we are BOLES. On Instagram, it's Boles Books. And if you want to join our great Discord server, here's the link. I'll be putting the links that we discussed from today's show on our Discord server, so you can find that and go click on stuff and have a lot of fun there. I used to put them in chat here, but now that we are simulcasting and multi-streaming, it doesn't go equally to all places that are being watched. So the one common denominator is our Discord server. So I hope you have a great day, wonderful nap, and when ye shall awaken, may your soul be filled with joy, honor, and the known whereabouts of all your friends. I'll see you soon.